I'm here in our ministry center on Capitol Hill, and I want to talk about a very important person to us, somebody who recently passed on to heaven and for whom this house is named. Sometimes you'll hear us refer to this ministry center, which is a 19th century Victorian row house on Capitol Hill. These homes were built typically to house members of Congress and later on their senior staff members. And this house is 110 years old, and we named it. And you've heard us refer to it as the O House for short. That actually stands for the Honorable William J. Ostrowski House. I want to show you a portrait of Judge William Ostrowski, who was a member of the New York State Supreme Court. For many years, he was one of the leading judges, one of the leading jurists in New York State. A great friend of our ministry, and you can see we've draped his portrait in black as a symbol that we're mourning his loss. He lived a long and good life, and I want to tell you, this man was extraordinary. He gave a good portion of his retirement, hard-earned retirement, to helping us when we were in the federal courts battling over the sanctity of human life and the right of American citizens to express their feelings about abortion, about the sanctity of life on public sidewalks. And I'll tell you this little anecdote. Judge Ostrowski literally rescued me from prison. I had led a prayer vigil on a sidewalk in front of an abortion clinic, and the judge in town and the abortion doctor were golfing partners. And the guy who owned the abortion business talked to the judge, and the judge said, "I'll make an example of Rev Schenck." So when I appeared before him, I was actually arrested for holding a parade without a permit. Well, this wasn't a parade, it was a prayer meeting. But for the purposes of the court, they called it a parade. I was found guilty, not surprisingly, and sent to a state prison for a year-long sentence. I was in the jail cell, and I was praying and thinking about where I was going to put my computer and my books when I heard a voice call to me from below the balcony that I was on, and I heard Judge Ostrowski's booming, unforgettable voice. He was not just a leading judge and lawyer, he was a Shakespearean actor. So when he boomed out, it was like he was performing on stage, and I heard him say, "Schenck, get your things, we're getting out of here." And I looked down, I said, "Judge, what are you doing here?" He said that an appellate court judge had heard my appeal the night before in his living room in his pajamas. And he had overturned my sentence and released me. So I went home with Judge Ostrowski. I will tell you, I owe this man a lot. And that's why, while he was still alive, my brother and I decided we would name this facility in his honor. And that gives it a little more prestige, because in Washington, most buildings bear the name of someone important. Well, there was no earthly person more important to us during those days than Judge William J. Ostrowski, the man we affectionately called the Judge, and the man for whom this house is named, the Honorable William J. Ostrowski House, or, for short, the nickname, the O House. Now you know the story, and now you know about this great man.